Good evening and welcome. Tonight we take a closer look at Bolivia, a landlocked country in South America that is currently facing both economic and demographic changes. Bolivia's population is expected to reach approximately 12.75 million people in 2026. With a median age of around 25 years, the country remains relatively young. Despite these challenges, Bolivia continues to rely on several key sectors to support its economy. These include natural resources such as natural gas and mining, a growing agriculture sector centered in Santa Cruz and Beni, and service industries such as manufacturing, education, healthcare, and hospitality. However, one issue that is increasingly affecting both businesses and households is inflation. Rising prices and currency pressures have created new challenges for the country's economic stability. To understand how inflation is impacting everyday life in Bolivia, we now go live to our reporter Sarah, who is at a local market in La Paz.
Alright, thanks to Izzah. Now I'm standing here at the Rodriguez market, and honestly, you can really feel the tension here. Consumers are buying less and vendors are struggling to justify their prices. Basic commodities like flour, sugar, and cooking oil have seen sharp price hikes driven by supply chain disruptions and the rising cost of imported goods. I have here with me Miss Mai, a local vendor. Miss, hi. Alright, Miss, may I ask how has this inflation affected you?
It's a nightmare, honestly. My wholesale costs keep increasing because of the similar exchange rates. Customers just don't have the money anymore, so my sale decreased by 40%. We want to work, but if food prices keep rising like this, people won't even be able to afford basic meal.
Alright, I understand. Thank you, Miss, for your time.
Okay, welcome.
As you can see, the financial squeeze on regular citizens is immediate and painful. But how is this bettering the broader business sector? For more on that, let's cross over to my colleague Sarah, who is tracking the policy side of this crisis. Sarah, over to you.
Thanks, reporter Asha. While the panic is obvious at food stalls, the bigger engine of Bolivia's economy is facing a serious gridlock. To understand why our $80 billion GDP is stalling, we have to look at what Bolivia sells to the world. For a long time, natural gas was the country's golden ticket, making up nearly 30% of all exports. But now, gas production is falling fast, and it's creating a massive dollar shortage. Joining me to discuss the government's response is economic analyst Ira. Thanks for being with us. So, the central bank, or BCB, has been trying to manage the crisis through monetary and fiscal policies. But a major issue raised is that the government started printing new currency just to cover fuel imports and state spending, which heavily devalued the money. Can their current policies actually fix this?
Okay, so hi, my name is Ira. I am the economic analyst of this Bolivia case. The currency printing is exactly why inflation triggered so badly. When the gas revenue ran out, Bolivia suddenly had to face expensive fuel imports. To hide the damage, the government strictly relied on a fixed exchange rate tied to a dollar since 2011. But that has become completely unsustainable. Now all eyes are on the BCB. Their current monetary policy to the public sector to control the money supply. But while mining operations like Mineral San Cristobal and the agriculture sector are trying to bring in foreign cash. So these monetary tweaks are just band-aids. Until fiscal credit is tightly controlled and they stop printing money for deficits, stabilizing expectations and rebuilding foreign reserve will be incredibly difficult.
So basically, what you're saying is that unless they fix the core fiscal issues, these monetary controls won't be enough to hold back the inflation. Anyways, thank you so much for your time, Ira.
No problem.
As we just heard, relying on fixed exchange rates and printing cash has caught up with the economy. The clock is ticking for the government and the central bank to make some very tough choices. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you to both reporters for the eye-opening report. It's clear that Bolivia is at a major macroeconomic crossroads. The country's financial system is incredibly vulnerable right now, heavily strained by unsustainable fixed exchange rates and a critical domestic dollar shortage. At the end of the day, whether the government and the central bank can successfully pivot towards stricter fiscal discipline and move away from its old dependencies will lock in the country's financial recovery for years to come. And that wraps up our special report for tonight. I am Nuriza. Thank you for watching and have a great evening.